Cuckoo. Hi, it's Kim, and I have a new guest here today. I'm happy to say I saw Isabel's baby. For all of you that know Isabel, she is precious, and Isabel and baby are doing really well. So we're so happy. Today we are continuing our series of how I ended up in France. So for those of you who are new to the series, I am doing a series of 5 interviews with interesting women that I have gotten to know, and they're telling their stories of how they made the move overseas to France. So I'm excited today to introduce our guest, Claire. Claire and I got the pleasure of getting to know each other over the past 2 years-ish, and we sort of had a common connection of realizing we were both from similar hometowns. So yes, Chicago, Milwaukee. So it's been such a pleasure, and it's so nice that Claire, she feels like a piece of home here. So I'm very happy to have gotten to know you. Sweet. So yeah, so Claire, I will let you tell you a little bit about yourself.
But I'm American, born and raised just outside of Chicago. Married a French man. We have 3 children. And we've been in France for 6 years. So we moved in 2020.
Okay.
I can't believe it. I do it. The math for me is like how many back to schools we've done. So this is the 6th back to school.
Back to school.
That's what I remember. But
so
I'm going to start to lose track.
We're half a you. So this is our 3rd back to school.
Okay.
So.
Has it been 3 years?
It's been 3 years. Yes.
It goes
really fast. I know.
Really fast.
So tell me, you moved directly from Chicago.
So we were living in Lake Bluff.
Okay. Yes.
Just north of Chicago. Our story, can jump right into
please.
our story.
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
We, let's see. So we met and got married and all that in America.
But so you met your husband in Chicago.
In Chicago, actually in Anaheim, California, at a trade show in a bar at 2 a.m. So just like how all good things begin.
All good things begin.
We don't need to talk about that long story, but he was living in New York, yada yada. We ended up in Chicago together. Started our family there, and we're working together as well. And in 2016, we sold our business. Decided to stay. I had my last baby in 2015. So I really had like a small people at home. So it took a little time, which was really nice.
That's so nice.
Started some projects, tried to do a few things in the United States, and didn't quite pan out. And so I kind of took the opportunity to be like, do you want to go to France? It's always been a dream for me.
It has for you.
Always. When you asked me to do this, I started looking through the questions. And I'm like, I think I've always had that itch.
Interesting.
Studied abroad in college.
In France?
Nope, in London.
Okay.
Does it count? It kind of counts. But the idea of I wanted to experience other things. I remember London was like just sort of a hub, and we would travel every weekend. Cool. And then when in my 20s, I remember had a little bit of money in my checking account, and I bought a round trip ticket to Rome and did so it's always kind of been there, I'm sure, for me. And you don't just marry a French man to stay in America.
I was going to say, was this a conversation so when you guys got married, were you like, okay, I think at some point we are going to move back to France?
Absolutely not.
And he was never asking you I need to live in France?
No, never. We were really into our careers. I think kind of similar to you. It was that really fast pace.
Totally.
We were just grinding, working.
Okay.
So no.
So how
never
did the
really talk.
Yeah.
So you asked that. I think it was multiple conversations. Okay. He didn't want to come back to France as a tourist, or as a let's go to France for a year.
I see.
I think he wasn't. That didn't feel right to him. So kind of came up with a professional project to have. This is before the one we have now.
Okay.
To kind of get our feet. To sort of actually really to have an excuse
to go.
Come.
Okay. Starting something here that brought you here.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we did that, but we made the decision, and then COVID hit. So we made this decision pre-COVID.
Okay.
It wasn't a thing. And then all of a sudden COVID hit. So we were selling our home during COVID.
Oh my gosh.
We decided to stay the course.
Okay.
But things changed, we didn't come over to find a home. It was all Zoom.
Okay.
And so that was a really interesting experience.
Were there ever moments when you're like, this is crazy, should we just stay here?
No.
No, you were like, let's do it.
No, and in fact, the whole COVID thing was kind of liberating.
Okay.
Because you can't plan everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And that can be really stressful in a big move like that.
For sure.
You're like, okay, this is how this experience is going to go, and I'm going to control 100%. It. And that was off the table.
Yeah. So the spreadsheets don't matter anymore.
Doesn't matter. You're like, you got a house that we can live in? Awesome.
That's really nice. So it's almost like it took some of the pressure off of needing to be so ticked and tied. Okay, one question on this. So you and your husband, does your husband speak French to your children? And has he done that since they were babies?
Exclusively.
Okay.
And the dog as well.
And the dog. Okay.
That's important.
That's important. So the dog speaks French. Okay. Or understands French. And then what about, tell us about what you spoke at home and if you knew any French before you moved here.
So our couple, we call it, usually people say our couple language has always been English because I spoke no French when we met.
Got it. Oh, you spoke no French?
None.
And your husband was pretty fluent or
He
fluent?
was. Okay. Yeah. So he had been living in New York. He had probably been there 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and he's got an interesting, his English was not great when he arrived.
Oh, wow. So he learned English in the United States.
He did.
Okay.
Seinfeld.
Really?
Yeah. Like a lot of this, like his English was really rough.
So
really rough. Yeah.
Because he's so fluent now.
He's so fluent, but he has a pretty big accent. It's actually less than when we met.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't notice it
you
as
probably
much
don't
as,
notice it much.
Yeah, not as much. No.
No. And actually it was probably bigger. So our couple language was English.
Okay.
That's like a whole nother podcast series is trying to like change your couple language or change your family.
Tried?
It's super hard.
I bet.
It's like nearly I'm sure there's been people who've been successful. It depends on your level of
French or
of
the
course,
second language,
and all that. But he's getting better.
Yeah.
He's getting better at that. But it's just when it's your couple language,
For sure.
That's what it is.
And your kids before you moved here were fluent, would you say, in both languages?
I would say yes, like conversationally, which is different, obviously, than reading and writing.
Yes.
There's a really sweet little French nursery school in
Chicago.
Chicago. So
nice.
They all went through maternelle, they went through kindergarten in a French school.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Adelaide, our oldest, is the only one who had like 3 or 4 for 3 or 4 years because she was in 5th grade. Before, so she had some American school experience,
Got it.
non-bilingual school experience. George had 1 year in an American school, and Daphne had never been in an English-speaking school. And so, and JB, I think the most important thing is that language at home.
Oh, interesting, because that really helped them feel comfortable.
I think so.
Okay, so take us back to the moment. So you guys, it's COVID.
Yeah.
You're moving here. Yeah. Things are a bit up in the air. Yeah. How were your kids feeling at the time, and what ages were they?
Okay, so the oldest was in 5th grade.
Okay.
So she was 10. Okay. I want to say 10, 7. No, God. 10. Was she 10, 7, and 5? Is that possible?
10, 7, and 5. That's possible.
That's about right.
Okay. And
so Daphne was 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, 10, 7, 5.
Okay. And how did they...
Okay.
Or how did you tell them?
Oh, it was so funny. So we're like, I'm like sweating bullets. I'm like, okay. We're gonna have to tell the kids, Meanwhile, it is a little weird at home because it's COVID and they're in front of a screen, right? It's a weird time in general. Yeah. So we were in Wisconsin, which was slightly more open at the time than Illinois. Yes. So we went to like a brunch place.
Okay.
Like pancakes and eggs, right?
Like very American breakfast.
So we're like sitting down, I'm like, we're gonna tell the kids.
Yes.
We're gonna tell the kids. And so we sit them down and like we have some really exciting news.
Okay, you face it very positive.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay. And France wasn't foreign to them because we would come every year to see family.
Yes. Okay, that makes
so
sense.
it wasn't like we're moving to China.
Right, or something they've never
something
been.
Totally.
Okay.
So we said, okay, we're exciting news.
Yeah.
We're moving, we're going to move to France, And they're kind of like, they do the thing that they look at each other. I don't know if your kids do that,
They're not quite old enough to have their own little looks yet. But.
And then I think Adelaide, the 10-year-old, asked something like, are we going to go to a new school? Like some silly question or something. I said, yes. Mm-hmm. And then she goes, can you pass the bacon? And I'm like, I think we're good.
Awesome.
Like, I think
she just was like, I'm good.
Think we're good.
And
I looked at JB and we were like, this is so funny. I mean, they
so
really don't care.
That's
I think,
great.
We had
of course.
the age we weren't in high school and somebody had a boyfriend.
Right.
And we went, So it was a good age.
That's awesome. And I feel like because they had been in French schools, because they spoke French at home, they had visited France, it makes it
was totally different for you.
Easier.
I mean, I can't imagine if I was like, we're going to Germany.
I was saying
totally different.
Yeah, I think our story, we had to bring out a map, show them where it was. My daughter was 5 at the time. I think she literally thought we were moving down the street. Like France was the second neighborhood over, and she's like, that's okay. It's very confusing. And so that I'm glad they were very young. They were 4 and 6. And so it wasn't quite the recognition of what we're doing.
This is their normal now.
This is their normal now.
And people move to other countries.
Completely.
That's normal.
It's normal. Yeah. And I've actually feel like now a reverse would be really hard for us to go back at some point. So anyways, okay.
I actually have a really funny story about that.
Yeah.
We had a conversation with the kids. I'm like, what would you do if I said,
did you ask them?
Yeah. The big ones were like, that would be really tough and it would be really hard. Wow. And so Daphne's 9. She was maybe 8 at the time.
Okay.
And I'm like, I've been awfully quiet.
Yes.
And she goes, I have big plans to move back to America.
Oh, she has big plans?
Apparently she has big plans to go back to America.
Wow.
So every kid is like, so for her, because I think for her, it's like some memory of something she liked. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. It's probably similar with my son. I think he's always like, well, I'm ready to go and I want to see my old friends there. And I'm like, are they even friends anymore? But you kind of just nod your head and there's something in their head. And so yes, but your plan when you moved here was to stay.
We decided not to have a plan or to communicate. So my husband moved around a lot when he was a kid. And so he kind of had a good foundation of like, you don't make promises.
Yeah,
this is just what we're doing.
Yes.
If your parents are okay, you're okay.
Yep.
And you just live sort of every day without
I love
too
that.
much.
I
think it's kind of a good lesson in general.
For sure. And actually in general in life.
Right, in life.
Rather than trying to make your 5 and 10-year plan. You don't know. And I feel like in the US, and tell me if you guys did this, I was always making like a 5-year plan. Like I was like, we're going to live here for a bit and then we're going to do this and then we're going to do this. And like here, it's actually really freeing. My husband and I are the same. We don't have a plan of like how long we're going to stay here or what
the right way to go.
And honestly, we're playing it year by year of like, let's see how this year plays out. Let's see how the kids are. Let's see how our work situations are. And then we play it that way. And honestly, it's freeing. It's very nice.
It's just so great.
It's very nice. So I'm glad to hear that perspective. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to your story. So you guys, you've got your no more spreadsheets. You're here. It's COVID.
We're here. We got our suitcases.
You got your suitcases. Did you find an apartment or a house?
We rented a house.
You rented a house.
Rented a house up in Puricar, up in, it was like an Airbnb that he rented, that was being rented during the school year.
Okay.
And then we had to be out for the summer, which was kind of ideal because we were going to plan to go back to America for the summer. Okay. Anyway.
And that's usually what you do now.
And that's usually what we do. It was just like get our feet wet.
Okay. And how was the adjustment? Like, so you moved, was it like easy, hard? What were your kids feeling?
It was. I'm looking at you. I mean, I think for the kids it was easy. I think it was
easy for the kids.
It was still just COVID weird.
Yeah. Okay. They were like, we could be anywhere.
Between like, when you're getting like hit with the thermometer to get on the bus, like, is that because we're in France or is it just super weird?
That's such a good point.
It's hard to know.
It's hard to know.
But they were great. Like smooth sailing. The school was, did a nice job welcoming everybody, even during COVID.
That's awesome.
I would say that's probably that first year for 6 months is when, the language thing became really evident.
Talk to me about that. So you spoke a little French?
A little. I had taken some French classes, but as you know, I mean,
they don't really help before you are immersed.
No. Yeah. I mean, and especially, not to harp on this COVID thing, it'll be the last thing, everybody's wearing a mask.
Oh, right. So you can't read lips or like.
There's so much.
I never thought about that.
Or just expression. Like there's so much communication happens in expression. You can decipher what's happening.
Yeah.
But when it's like somebody is covered up, I was like, oh my God, shoot me.
I didn't even think about learning French with someone because I read lips a lot. Like that's why the phone is very hard for me still. But now I can.
But it's not just lips, it's expression. Because even here, like you can see the eyes, but so much is happening
behind the mask.
Yeah. So if somebody's smiling, if they're not, if they're looking confused, like you really see it. No.
So you really had to decipher.
Oh my God.
You really had to learn your French words.
It was not fun. There was like a few parking lot,
I bet.
weeping sessions.
Oh, don't we all? I said grocery stores, parking lots.
I mean, just like when you're used to being able to express yourself,
and communicate.
And, I mean, it's the same old story.
Yes. No, I mean,
it's the same old story. So,
but tell me, so did your husband help you learn French, or was he like?
Oh God, no, it was a good thing. It was a good thing. I think about, at least in our relationship, that wasn't
okay. So you were kind of
idea.
On your own.
So I found a teacher. Okay. So I found a school first.
Okay.
But then, and it was COVID, but things were open,
Yes.
but it's the same thing. We're in masks. I'm like, this is stupid. So we decided, I found somebody to do Zoom. So then you could see faces.
That's smart. Okay.
And it wasn't always like the shutdown, open shutdown.
Yes.
So that was really helpful.
Okay.
And just like really putting yourself out there. I think you just have to get over being super uncomfortable.
Okay.
Because otherwise, you
like
you can
mistakes.
live in a country for decades without communicating with people if you really want to. I mean,
but you think you could live here without?
Absolutely.
See, I don't know.
You can, not in the way you want to, not the way you want to,
not in the way I personally want to.
Exactly.
But I even would think it's hard to do daily things around a city if you do not have a minimum level of French.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like ordering things at a boulangerie or going to the butcher and trying to buy meat.
But they can survive by going to the grocery store.
Oh, I didn't think about it.
Do you know what I mean?
But you're avoiding a lot of situations.
Yeah.
Okay.
By
that's
avoiding
fair.
stuff, you certainly can.
You can. You're right.
If you want to, but it's not the way that you want to, or I would suggest or advise people on experiencing it, right?
Did you feel a big motivation to learn the language?
Absolutely.
Okay. And why?
Absolutely. It's frustrating, and I also have French family, so it's important to be like, it's just different when it puts you kind of like on the sidelines of everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that.
Yeah,
you really want to be a part of what's happening.
And if your kids,
it's a lot of pressure on the spouse who speaks the language too.
Oh, right, because they're always like doing everything for you.
So like when we used to come in the summer times or whatever, like I could see it was it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. So you put in a big effort, and I have to say,
put in a big effort.
Claire is completely fluent.
No.
But it is.
I have a lot of work to do. But
you think that, but from somebody in my seat,
but you're only 2-3 years in.
Still, it's amazing that but admit you could get by in just about any situation.
Yeah,
you can have French dinner parties and have full French conversations. I mean, that's like impressive.
I am proud of myself.
You should be. Yes.
It took some work. I still do get really frustrated.
Oh, you still do?
Oh God, when the grammar is just like. Gross, and I know it's. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like
you're saying
it's like
and
coming out,
bad.
and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Or I really want to express something, and I just can't.
Yes, that's really hard.
Using the words that I'd like to.
I know.
I mean, there's a lot of work to do.
Okay.
So, and I think like language, my experience has been like you fly up, and then you plateau. And then the rest of it is like little baby steps. Okay. And I'm probably at a phase where I probably need like a push. I do sometimes go do like an intensive week at the Alliance or something. I would recommend that. Yeah, I haven't done it since. Did I do it last year early? I haven't done it. I mean, I would say if I could get my act together once a year to just go do the 1 week intensive.
Okay.
It just kind of like
boosts.
Yeah, it gets the motivation going again. Okay. It just sort of helps.
That's great.
It helps a little bit
because I feel like
because I don't want to get stuck.
I was going to say because you don't want to easily get
but
yourself to like a good enough point.
Absolutely.
For example, like right now I'm like it's okay. Like it's far
I haven't
from
heard
good.
your French in a long time.
Well, don't worry. I don't know why you and I would speak French together, but I feel better. But it's some weeks.
That's what matters though.
No,
if
it's
you
true.
feel like I don't know if you have those days like I used to have those days where you're like I am like a French fluent woman, right? Like you have these like moments. And then the next day you're like,
completely.
I don't know anything.
I don't know anything. This is like 100% describes my experience here.
So that goes away.
And you have like a like someone will give you a compliment about how great your French is. And you're like the rest of the day you're walking around like you literally won the lottery. And then the next day you'll have a totally different experience.
Where
you're just like ready to cry again. And you get that look. Comment, quoi. Like, it's so funny. But so I'm glad to hear I'm not alone.
No.
But tell us like how you immersed yourself enough to learn like at a very high level French in what, 5-6 years?
I would say you got to force yourself to do stuff that you really don't want to do.
Okay. Such as
not. So for me, it's really easy to ask my husband to do stuff.
Oh, of course.
Like, can you call and make that reservation?
Yeah,
And I have to say, sometimes I still do it, which is really bad. It's not great. But so picking up the phone, because the phone is still hard. It's really
still hard for you.
Oh
okay.
yeah, it's hard.
Yes.
It's hard because you can't.
There's no context sometimes.
There's no
like
context.
When somebody calls me in French, point. I'm like, if I'm calling someone, I know, okay, this is a restaurant. I can predict the questions. It's easy. I'm calling the doctor. I know I can predict. When somebody's calling me from a French phone number, I get this like feeling of, oh my gosh, who could this be? It could be the bank. It could be Amazon. It could be, and then there's no context and they're like, blah, 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 and you're like, I have no idea what just happened.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay. So you still get that.
I would totally still get that. And just being around French. Like, I mean, dinner parties, as exhausting as they couldn't be.
They really help.
Yeah. And to the point of like, it's easy to be around Anglophones.
Yes, for
and
sure.
It's lovely. And we should, and it's great.
Of course.
But to like putting yourself out there just a little bit. I never did those like coffee conversation things like that. I did a private tutor. I think that's really helpful.
Yes, that's
if you
what
can
I've been
find
doing.
somebody you're doing that. I mean, it's just huge because you can sit in a class and never say a word.
Of course.
And you don't get any practice.
Yeah. The passive learning, I feel like, is good at the beginning to get a foundation, at least like
for sure.
So you can understand verb conjugation. But then I feel like it's about talking and understanding and putting yourself out there.
Shows, stupid movies and stuff.
I know.
Those are good.
We've been doing a lot of that.
Those
it
are
helps.
good. Frustrating, like with the French
subtitles. That's what we're doing. Yeah. So it all of those steps.
It's
but
just
you kind
time
of
too. I think it's just time.
Okay. That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
You're encouraging for
you're
me.
Great. You're gonna be great.
Okay. What are some of the things now that you've been here 6 years almost that you really appreciate about living here versus your life back in France? And how would you also say that for your children?
Okay. I think that just sort of the pace of life. Now we're in the south of France, which I know is a lot different
slower
than being
Paris.
in Paris.
Yeah.
I was listening to, I don't know who I was listening to, about the importance of sharing meals with family. It was actually a French woman, but I was like, I mean, that's so culturally ingrained in not just French, but the Europeans.
Yes.
And we have Spanish friends and we can be at the table for 6 hours.
For sure.
Right?
Yes.
And so that I really appreciate that because it really brings people together and it sort of resets things. I mean, and you just, we're so used to running around like chickens with our heads cut off
in the United States.
And it's easy, and that's another place to force yourself to kind of like, it can be annoying. You're like, are you serious? Like, I don't have 2 hours
to sit
3.
here.
Are you kidding me? But just like once in a while.
Yes, it's really lovely.
And it's really, we did it the other day.
I know. I was like, we had lunch
and
that was like 3 hours. We didn't even notice.
And there's not that rushed behavior at the restaurants. I was in Evanston over the summer, and I walk in and
it's outside of Chicago for those of you listening. Yes,
in America, and there was like a sign when you walked in. It was like, please do not stay at the table more than 60 minutes or something.
I was like, a sign.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's,
Whereas here, we were sitting for probably 60 minutes without even getting a drink.
I was going to say, you can have you can have a sparkling water.
Yes. You can barely get that.
So I appreciate that a lot.
You got over the frustration of it, and now you're appreciating. Okay.
Yeah. That I appreciate. That's awesome. I mean, I do have frustrations with being here too. I mean, there's plenty of them, right?
Yes.
Plenty of them.
Yes.
like I don't know about you, when I go back to the US, I'm like,
oh, the convenience.
What can I do? Like, it's super convenient. Like, you need something fixed.
Oh my gosh,
I'm just on the phone. I get so excited. It's really, really like, who needs what? Because I can
talk.
I can talk.
I can call, and someone's going to show up quickly.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
even my kids are starting to see some of that. It's so funny.
It's so shocking. Funny. Like, even just little things, like in Chicago, like we were there this summer and the kids were like, oh, we can get pancakes from here and I can get a coffee from here. And like, it can all be within like a few blocks in like 30 minutes. And that's
and
here.
You can have what you want.
You can have what you want and how you want it. And part of it's language, but part of it is like the US is built for efficiency and convenience.
Yes.
Whereas this is, I feel like France is a lot built for community, for like specialization of things. Yep. I feel like you probably feel this way. In the US, I can go one place and get almost everything I need. Like, you could go to Target and be like done. Here, I'm like, I just went to 6 places, but they were all specialized places of things.
Like, think about how much time that takes you too.
Way more.
It's a
like
whole experience. Not to mention the chit chat
and the
that goes along with it.
Yes, and the people chit chatting in front of you that you're waiting for. That they don't mind that you're in the queue waiting. It's normal. Yes. What about your children? What are they? Do you think? Have you ever talked to them about like? Do they miss things about the U.S. or because you go back every summer? Is it kind of?
I mean, honestly, I think they're starting to sort of. I mean, your kids. This will be sort of their normal. They don't miss things. I would say now that my kids are getting into the high school area, and I'm watching friends. The organized sports, sort of like the way that the education system works, where it's like you want to play volleyball, you play volleyball at school, or that sort of thing. Like here. You have to find a club, and then it's always a little bit, but just more like most things, everything's a little bit more complicated, right?
France, agree.
It's just a little bit more complicated. It's certainly the approach to sports.
Agree.
Is very different than it
Can you talk a little about that? Because we've had some exposure, and I was not sure if our experiences.
Yeah, like, I mean, our experience has been with soccer.
Okay.
It's a very competitive sport in France. Yes. Kids start very young and they are very good. Like regardless of the level, then they have certain levels within each age group, etc. So like team 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
But there's competitive soccer in America too.
For sure.
I think it's the approach, and I think it happens in the public school system also. It's not like America is very like whole child approach, positive reinforcement. Yes. I mean, it was even like that when we were kids.
Yeah, so
right?
true, for sure.
My favorite story in the beginning of school was George, my son, who loses everything, lost his water bottle or something at school. And in the United States, he'd probably come to class the next morning and it'd be sitting on his desk or in his cubby. Yeah. I mean, here at our school, which is, not a French public school by any means, it's like, go find it.
Go find it.
I mean, you're on your own. You're on your own.
And you're on your own from a young age.
From a very young age.
Yes.
And I think it's a great lesson. Yeah. However, I'm kind of going back and forth on the sports piece. Yeah, it can be really tough on kids.
Yeah, that's what we found.
And so there's just this sort of lack of positive reinforcement that we're really used to, and it can be really exhausting for these kids. Like emotionally exhausting, physically exhausting. Yeah. Nothing's ever on time either. So it's like if it's like whatever 6 to 7:30, he's home. They're like 6:45, and then you have to. Chat, and then it's just everything
take longer. Yes.
So those are some of the frustrations.
Yes, no, there's definitely some of those, and I like to think though that they're like still the trade-offs kind of outweigh some of the like bad things of like. So for example, I find like my kids in 2 years are much more like independent and taking care of things on their own, and if they lose their water bottle at school or their jacket. like I say to them, like, go find it, like go search around. The teachers are not going to find it for you. Go, you know where the lost and found is. And because of that, like they're much more conscious of their things. Like where in the US, I feel like I bought about 10 different water bottles and I would just be like, here's a new one. Here's a new one. I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore.
Good.
They go find it and figure it out. And
good
there's good lessons, I think, in both.
I do try to think too about like whatever some negative thing. It's not really negative. It's just a cultural difference.
It's just different.
And if we can just sort of operate within that, that's why we're here.
Yes,
and I don't want to totally avoid it either.
No,
so
I know.
like if there's a situation and I'm like, well, that's because of this. And I'm like, do I change or do we just let it happen?
Yes.
Because that's what
part
we're
of
doing.
the experience here.
That's what we're doing.
I know. We're there too. Yeah. So that you probably wouldn't have done in the United States. Like hobbies or work things.
I mean, I'm not sure for sure. I'm not sure if it's France versus US, but this region is so beautiful.
Yes.
So, I mean, but yes, it's probably because we're here. I mean, we are hiking all the time.
You love hiking.
I love hiking.
Did you hike in the United States?
I know. We were in the Midwest. Where are you going to hike?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't. You could do like Kettle Moraine,
Lake Michigan. You could go.
It's different. There's a different. It's certainly in this region. There's like this really cool beautiful hiking culture that we've discovered. Okay. And I do think it's very French. You know, to hike, and to walk, and to suffer, agree. Just like suffer, and then you feel so great.
You do.
It's part of the thing.
You think the suffering is part of it?
Totally. Oh. I mean, at least in my husband. So my husband's family is like super traditional, and he grew up walking and hated every minute, and now he is the one
that is pushing the family,
dragging us everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know, but it could just be his
you
family.
Started hiking here with
him?
Hiking
here. Okay. Just really enjoying it. It's just so accessible because it's just right here.
It's like 20 minutes
away. And it was,
again,
it was COVID. Sorry to bring it up again.
Yeah,
so there wasn't much else to do.
Yes.
You could be outside and you could do that.
Yes. But now you'll hike just for the fun of it for a workout.
Okay. Yeah. Once or twice a week.
Wow. Once or twice a week.
Yeah. But he goes up once. Well, he goes up probably more than me. I try to go up once a week.
And you climb to the top of San Victor.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah. So I'm so excited. Claire started a business here.
Wahoo!
Which is amazing, called Madame Popcorn.
Thank you.
I am so impressed. First of all, if you come to Aix, you have to check it out. The popcorn is honestly the best.
I can't believe I came over
Why
here.
Would you? No, we don't need to eat popcorn at 10:30 in the morning.
Everybody needs it.
It is literally like I was back in Chicago and nothing compared to here.
But isn't it wild that popcorn is like really new here?
It's so new.
It's like very on topic for you because culturally it's like this very different thing. When I'm in the boutique and I still see people coming in and they're like, like
what
cheese,
is this?
Popcorn, and it's so funny to educate.
Tell me, like you're basically starting almost like a new cultural trend here because for those of you that are listening from the United States, popcorn is a snack that you eat whenever you want to eat popcorn, and it's actually fairly common. Like I was eating popcorn almost daily, probably in the United States.
It's like a potato chip.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a snack. I'd give it to the kids after school.
Right.
Here, it's almost like you had to form an association of like, when would you eat this? Because people don't really snack.
True. Good point. They're starting to.
I know.
But it's a little bit different way. Yes, correct. They don't snack.
Let's take us back. Okay, what was the inspiration of wanting to start Madame Popcorn?
So, we have a little bit of a family history of popcorn in my family. And my husband and I are working together in the U.S. in popcorn and in salty snacks. So
you kind of know the business.
So we kind of know the business, but in a different capacity, never direct to consumer.
Got it.
This, like at a boutique or a shop like that.
Okay.
So we're in year 6 and year 4 or 5. We like to work and we have a little bit of an entrepreneurial flair.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, let's just have like a little shop in town. Because it's one thing to like build a brand and do all this thing and bring it to the grocery store. That's sort of what we were doing in America. And this felt really like, I think what I missed was kind of touching something and I don't know, like actually getting in there.
For sure.
So we found this little space in Aix, which is really wild.
So
I mean, there's like nothing.
No, it's very hard
for
to
those
find
of
rent.
you who have never been to Aix. It's these little ancient little streets. They're so fabulous.
They're beautiful.
But to try to operate out of them is hysterical. I mean, talk about learning something new. It's really funny.
I
bet. There's this great merchant culture in Aix of everybody's kind of like looking out for each
It's so
other.
nice.
It's really cool.
It's
It's
very,
really,
very
really
cool.
So we opened in February, and
Yes.
we're, gosh, I mean, what are we, 9 months?
Yes.
Barely.
And it seems like it's doing super well.
It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Okay, great.
I think we're coming into our season. I think popcorn is really kind of fall, winter.
Yes, it's like the time
So,
to
cozy up. Bring stuff to parties. Yes. So we do these, like tins, like you see in America, which is also so. I mean, do you know how many times I listen to this? Oh my God, it's so confusing for people.
Wait, so tell me. Okay, so you have 5 flavors of popcorn.
Do we?
5-ish.
We have a bunch of caramels and some savory.
Yes. Okay.
Like 5 or 6.
And then you have a tin, which if those of you in the U.S., it's like a large thing that's
divided. 3-way tin.
Yes, into 3 flavors, right?
You can do 3 flavors. Yeah.
Okay.
You can do 2
so
or 3.
what's the experience been like for a French person noticing your shop and coming in?
I mean, I'm so touched by the fact that the French have really embraced it. Because we get lots of tourists. I don't think that's what tourists are here for. They're here for the Madeleine and
right, of course.
But we do get them who come in. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But what's the best is like the French who are discovering this thing, because the apéro culture, which is like huge. Of having a glass of wine and an apéro, which is maybe saucisson and cheese, whatever. And this is and potato chips. Yes. So that it's a salty alternative if you go salty. And of course we have our caramel cone. So they've really embraced the whole thing. So you've kind of
positioned it as for the French culture.
Absolutely. It's a French brand.
It's a French brand. It's meant to be enjoyed as part of apéro. So
exactly.
Apéro, to compare, and we've talked about this in the podcast before, but for those of you listening, it's almost like the French happy hour,
totally.
but it's more specific, right? Mm-hmm. In my opinion, like there's certain types of food, to your point, that you serve, and potato chips does happen to be one of them.
Can show up,
you're sort of positioning as like an alternative to having the potato chip. That's smart. Okay.
Absolutely. Also, like movie nights.
Yes,
because
I love
people
that.
there is popcorn available that people buy at the grocery store. It's either salty or sweet usually, and it's just a kind of an alternative to that. We also like it to be the same occasion that somebody would buy like a bag of Doritos.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And
so
that's more
like
adolescent.
Yeah.
And that doesn't seem to be happening. I don't think that's quite our market. I think, to your point, is really more apéro, after school snack.
Okay, got it.
Goûter.
Yes.
And gifting.
Okay, I love that.
It's fun. It's
so
fun to bring a new product to have it be embraced.
I love that.
We're having a good time.
We're so happy for you.
That's
and
so
we will put this in the show notes so that those of you visiting definitely need to check it out. It's very awesome. So then I would love to hear, let's say you're back in 6 years ago. Would you make the same decision again to move to France?
100%.
Why? 100%. Okay.
100%.
And why? Just the experience, like everything about it. Yeah.
It just feels like this is
what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like your life takes you on a path, and it's hard to imagine a different one, or being back in the US or no, like zero regrets.
And I really think
do you feel the same way?
100%. Yeah. Like 100%. And I think we're trying to figure out, have more of your plan of what you do, where you're here for the school year and then you have a home in the United States that you spend 2 months-ish, probably more in the summer. I think that would be our ideal, because
I mean, if it's a possibility,
it's hard. I think we're kind of just going back and forth now. We're trying to figure out our mix of how often we go to the US and how long we stay, and all those types of things. So I think what you've figured out with having still kind of a home base in the United States is really nice. And it gives your kids a bit of both worlds that they live in, which I think is lovely. So
thanks. I think it works really well for us.
No, that's great. Any advice for people moving here or visiting France?
Gosh. I think for people moving, I would say the most important thing is just being okay, being uncomfortable. Yeah. The sooner you can let go of that,
love that.
The sooner you're in.
Yes. Okay.
So it's a lot easier said than done. Like, I don't want to go do that because I'm just going to sound stupid, or I really want to try that new bakery, but I'm just so terrified. As soon as you can let go of all that, the reality is what's going to happen.
For sure. What's the worst thing?
Somebody's going to give you a bug eye or whatever.
I would apply that to beyond just the language. Like if there are things you want to try and for the first time in your life you have a free hour a day to actually try something new, like just do it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And on the same note,
Yes.
do stuff like don't seek out Anglophone
Friends and only them.
not only friends, activities. Like
Yes, 100%.
I see a lot of times on some of the Facebooks or whatever, like looking for English speaking Pilates coach or looking for whatever. Like if you can, it's a great opportunity. Sure. And if it doesn't work, okay, well, I know you can find something else. I mean, those are the quicker you can do that, the
totally.
The less angst you're going to have.
Yes. And honestly, you can surprise yourself that you can get through a lot of things and you understand more than you think. And contextually, like I've gone to a lot of workout classes in French and contextually, you can completely, they're showing you the moves in front of you. You don't need to understand everything.
And you get this exposure to some weird thing that maybe you would have never
done before, or
people
the
did
style
so
of teaching. It's so interesting. So yes. Okay, I love that. So first one would be let go, allow yourself to be uncomfortable.
Totally.
Great.
Learn the language.
Learn the language. Yes, that are from the United States. Are you like,
oh my gosh,
hey, you
may
not want
pack
to do this.
light. I mean, the suitcases, where in the world did this habit come from?
I don't know, but they're huge. Same.
I mean, they just don't fit in the car. So literally the first thing,
they
don't. No. They do not fit. They still, I don't have like a tiny clown car.
No, me either, but it's still.
But I mean, the first thing I say is like, really do your best.
Yes.
For your own benefit, because if you're going to be on trains, which people do, and they're moving around, because Americans like we like to bounce around
a lot of things.
So that's my first advice, and it is so liberating in the same way that like you'll figure it out.
1,000%.
You will figure it out. You'll stay at a friend's house who has a laundry machine.
For sure.
You'll find something in Paris on the street. Go wash your clothes. It's part of the experience.
It's part of the experience. I completely agree.
That's a big one. I certainly in France, if you want to be sort of appreciated, anytime you walk into a store, make yourself known, say hello.
Bonjour.
Yes.
Yes.
And eye contact, that's all. Because otherwise from that point on, you'll get
treated better.
Yeah.
Yes.
You will. And I think I do it in America. People look at me like I'm crazy. I think it's such a
wonderful culture
thing to do. You're like acknowledging that you are there.
Yes.
And
we had 2 episodes ago, for those of you who listened, she was actually my French tutor, and she spoke about French culture, and she could not emphasize enough saying bonjour.
Good. Oh, but so that makes me feel better.
Validated. Okay. And that she even brought a book that she recommended called The Bonjour Effect.
Get out.
And it's an entire book about what a difference that makes culturally.
So funny.
And even she said for a French person, like when she approaches someone in the grocery store, she even sometimes makes a mistake of just saying "excusez-moi," blah, 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 and then she'll go on and the person will look at her and say "bonjour," like almost like why would you not have started with that, you know? And so I think that is a very, very important piece culturally, and I almost find myself now thinking it's kind of sad in the U.S. that we don't do that. We don't even say hello. Like when you walk, and you get a coffee, it's just like, what do you need? What is it? What's your order? Like. It's like really rude. So
funny because after moving to France, I understood my husband a lot better.
Oh, I bet.
I was like, you're so weird. Like, why do you do people? You're making people uncomfortable.
Honey. What would he do in English? Like in the U.S., would he in English just be like, "Hello, first of all, good morning"?
He'd say hello. He'd invite people to the house for apéro. Oh, I mean, just normal. And I was like, you're making people really uncomfortable.
Oh, because they don't know him, and then you're getting invited over.
But you meet somebody at the bus, you have a connection, so you're like, oh, well, let's go have a coffee, or you know what, come on home. Right? It's normal.
More normal. It's more normal here.
So I had a much better understanding of him.
So interesting.
And I thought it was just him. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you're all like that. It's so great.
So say bonjour. Don't pack too.
Don't pack too much.
What do you say anything about the volume of their voices in restaurants?
Oh. Great advice. Great advice.
To just I don't think they can self-aware.
Yeah.
That there are people that don't appreciate it.
Not all my kids might. Some of my kids do. I think that's a kid thing. You often have to tell the kids
to be quiet.
To be quiet, like to bring down the level.
Volume.
But that might just be a kid thing. Yeah, it's distracting. No one really wants to hear what you have to say.
No. Or especially it's worse if you're in a French restaurant. They don't even understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just loud.
And it just sounds loud.
It just sounds loud. Very good advice.
So that's always my other
Very
one. I'm
good.
like, just try. Like, I know we're having wine and it's fun, but like people do, especially here, like find it very disrespectful.
Yeah, and the level,
the level, yes. So
it's so funny. I mean, and French people have a really, it's like a gift to be able to speak so quietly.
I know.
Like we were in the U.S. somewhere, I can't remember where. And there's happened to be a bunch of French people, and so we're always like, like leaning back. I'm like, gosh, they're just so quiet. Because you want to,
you wanted
where
to,
they're
like,
from. Oh, we were in my
from
mom's. We were in Arizona.
Oh,
who are these French people on the trolley?
Did you talk to them?
No.
Oh yeah, you just listened.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to. I was like,
but they're so quiet. You can't
such
even.
A gift.
No,
I wish I could do that.
I know, and I do notice French children are better about it.
Oh yeah.
Than American children
good point.
In general. Like I think probably just culturally at home they're probably not screaming around the house. I don't know, like my kids are, but
at home it's okay.
No, it's okay. It's just
kids should be kids. They can scream at home, but there's definitely some known rules about
for sure
being out in volume.
Totally. Anything else, Claire, that you would want to share?
Oh my gosh, this was so much fun.
This was so fun. It was so nice to have
really,
you.
Really
Thank you all for listening. Let us know what you thought, and we'll be back soon. Au revoir.
Bye.